do business.
Okay.
Is it the America?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna click got it, I guess, for the recording. So I'd like to start, as we do in UU circles, with a chalice lighting and a reading. You guys, I think, can see it on the screen, so I'll go ahead and light my little, thanks to the Kleskis. I got this at the one of the festival things that we bought stuff at. And I'm gonna go ahead and read this reading from the UU website. We light this flame to ignite the sacred power of justice. We light this flame so that it may be a beacon of hope. In moments of uncertainty, fear, anxiety, and the unknown, we light this flame and are emboldened by its blaze. Knowing our strength as a prophetic and powerful people is rooted in the diverse ways we answer the call to love. So thank you everyone for being here. This is my first official chair doing the meeting. Bob is obviously still very involved and will continue to give me pointers on what to do and help me along. And so thank you for your flexibility with this. We'll see how it goes. And I'm also want to just share that I'm not tied down to what I have suggested for our meeting format. If we think it's no good, we can throw it out. These are just some of the ideas that we had from the December meeting that I thought might be, we could try them and see how it goes. And I guess I'll scroll here. So we had talked about doing a timekeeper like they do for the Board of Trustees meeting, where they have that all the presenters for the different committees are 5 minutes. And then if you need more time, then you can request it, especially if it's something that's extensive and ongoing. What do you guys think about that idea of trying it? And who would be our timekeeper to try for today?
I'd just say that people, the majority seem to be like the idea of timekeeping, especially if we're having monthly meetings at the last meeting. That's all, just a reflection on that. And I wouldn't have, and I'll nominate Noel to be the timekeeper if we decide to do
that. Are you okay with that, Noel? To try?
Yeah, I'll be a timekeeper. So just tell me how much time each person gets.
Yeah, so we had, if we're gonna try what the board does, they do 5 minutes. And
that's kind of long.
Yeah, and it depends, and you can take up to 5 minutes. If you don't have 5 minutes of things to share, then you can stop sharing. You don't have to take it all up.
I'll set it to 5 minutes. What do you want me to do?
Try for that? Okay. Okay, so does anyone have any edits for the minutes from December that were sent out?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I brought up the Google Doc from you. Yeah. And if I just bring it up and then I just can't remember how to do this. I just type into it, which is what I started doing. And do I have to say save it, or will it just keep up with what I've done on it?
Google Docs save as you go.
As I go. So just type away.
Type away.
Ad lib and it'll just work. And it'll be sitting there later.
Yeah. Ooh, fireworks.
Can you come back and edit it later, or Emily can?
Or Emily can. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a live document. It's a live document.
Yes, and I'm using the one. It doesn't look exactly like your agenda, but I'm using the one that you put up a week or so ago, right?
Yeah, that if you're in the document I shared with you, it is the one I'm using.
Okay. Okay. It just has more.
I just have a PDF up right now.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, thank you. So Yeah, go
Emily,
for it, Bob.
one quick thing I should have mentioned before we started. Brandy is here as visitor, and because she is the treasurer of the statewide Moms Demand Action, and so she had sent us stuff about the advocacy day plan for late February. I don't know. You might want to ask Emily if Brandy can stay with us the whole meeting for an hour, or whether she's in a hurry and needs to be moved to the front end or whatever, just as a
Yeah.
favor to a visitor.
Courtesy.
Or alternatively, if she wants to join the committee.
She
She
told me
asked
no
already.
already.
And I would love to accept it. I just don't have the time. So thank you for that invitation. And I support all y'all do, and thank you for it. I can do whatever y'all want. I don't want to crash your party. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
crashing the committee meeting, but I'm just here to answer questions when y'all get to that topic. So whatever
Okay.
y'all would like to do is fine with me.
You're fine. Do you want to speak initially so you can leave?
Yeah, I mean, you can bump that up if it works for you, and I can answer
Yeah,
any
we can
questions
make it
and
work.
then let y'all, and I'll jump off and let y'all proceed if that's good with you.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Bob, for suggesting that. And John just came to say hi because he's not
Hi,
going to be in
everyone.
the committee anymore.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna help out as I can when I have the energy. And
special drop in.
I'm cooking, so just want to say hi.
Bye, John. So yeah, Brandy, like Bob said, is here to share with us about her work with Moms Demand Action. So let me just, oh dear, scroll. Yeah, so you can just go ahead, Brandy, and I gave Brandy up to 10 minutes to share. So you can go ahead, Noelle, with that, and we'll go.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And in light of, the statement for support for gun safety that y'all worked so hard on and had the vote on last week, thank you very much for all that work. And I thought it would be relevant to make sure y'all were invited and included in the Moms Demand different sort of advocacy day that we're having this year. It's February 27th, and typically Moms does an annual advocacy day in Nashville, and we all carpool to get to Nashville and back. And we meet with legislators, and we meet with Moms Demand, and we're all there together in numbers to support our single mission of prevention of gun violence. So this year is a change in our past year's approach to it, and it is called Tennesseans United for Gun Safety. And we're partnering with organizations to show up on February 27th in Nashville and support gun violence prevention. So I wanted to make sure that the Social Justice Committee is invited. I've Sharon Brown as part of the League of Women Voters, and she has attended Advocacy Day past years with me multiple years. And we always have great time. So she hopes she can go this year, but it depends on some medical things. But she is sharing with the League of Women Voters the same information that statewide, the League of Women Voters is one of the organizations that is a partner. We have, like, last I heard on Thursday, it was up to 38 partner organizations whose members can attend. So locally, League of Women Voters members can attend. You guys, I sent Emily and Bob and Noelle the links, and I'm happy to share them with all of you to our sign up for the partner organizations. You can just register your organization. And the important part is I'm planning to attend, and I plan to drive to Knoxville super early the morning of February 27th. And catch the Knoxville bus, because Moms Demand is providing buses from Memphis and Knoxville for sure, as they do most every year. Last year was a recovery from COVID, so numbers were lower. Sharon Brown and I attended from Tri-Cities. We're the only ones from the Tri-Cities, which is much smaller. Normally we have a nice good group. And we just caught some rides from folks in Knoxville. They didn't even have a bus from Knoxville. They just had several cars that drove. And so we caught a ride with a couple of the members in Knoxville that drove to Nashville. And then we came back that day. It's a super long day, but well worth it. It'll look a little different this year. And I want to make sure y'all are aware, and anyone who's interested in attending, I can coordinate with you guys, and I'm working with moms statewide to see when we need to know our final count for people who would like to drive, carpool from here to Knoxville and catch their bus. Every year, I can't remember exactly how early. It's usually like they leave around, I think 7:30 or so from Knoxville. So you could do the math. We leave super early from Tri-Cities. It's, dark outside, super early. And then we'll get back to Knoxville later in that day. And then we drive back to Tri-Cities. So I'm happy to drive, but depending on how many people, we might need several drivers. And I just want to make sure we coordinate that so I can share my cell phone number and my email address, and y'all can email or text me to keep up to date with who would like to attend, if anyone. And I think I saw Betty Kramer on here earlier. She's also a mom's volunteer, so she's also familiar with Moms Demand. And I just wanted to make sure y'all have a chance to Q&A and coordinate with me if anyone is interested in going. I've asked moms for kind of a deadline on when we need numbers, so I'm sure we'll get the information soon, and I'll have a contact in Knoxville to coordinate with.
Terrific. Thanks so much. What will the day of advocacy look like? Are there speakers, or like what's going to happen?
Yeah, there's a basic timeline. I don't think I can share on this, but it's like a 10:30 to 12 is welcome and advocacy training, which is what they typically do. So it's a little different this year, but typical, I can tell you because I've attended so many years. We meet at one of the churches in Nashville, and it's a big full group, and we have some speakers there. Oftentimes, almost always a survivor, because Moms Demand is one of the umbrella organizations in every town for gun safety. And we have a survivor network as well of gun violence. And there's usually a pretty moving, survivor speaker. There's also some training speakers who talk to you about legislative discussions with legislators and training on things like or how to answer questions if people want to interview you as a mom. That's really specific to the Moms Demand volunteers. There are specific people who are trained and able to give press conference information. So they do a little bit of that. And then at 12 o'clock, there is a press conference on the calendar. So I think the intent is to have a big number of partners united in gun safety for that press conference and for the day. At 12:30, there's a break for lunch. And then from 1:30 to 4:30, the calendar shows, or the agenda shows, legislator meetings. And then a debrief at 5. I'm not sure this year what time the Knoxville bus will leave, but we do, sometime around 4, I think, is when we typically leave to get back to Knoxville, and then for us to Tri-Cities. But in the past years, it's always been very consistent. We've scheduled ahead of time legislator meetings, so we always meet with some of our Tri-Cities legislators, like John. I forgot his last name. I'm blanking on him. And Bud Halsey, the Van Husses used to be big legislators that we would meet with. So all the ones for Tri-Cities, we would meet. John Lundberg. I'm sorry, I just was blanking for a moment. So we meet with them and discuss, and we would ask them for specific bills, and Mom's very structured in reviewing certain proposed bills. So we have certain ones that we support typically, and this year I expect that there's one that Representative Camper, I think, is the sponsor on it for people call it a red flag law, but it's ERPO bill, extreme risk protection order. So last year we had one, and frequently we do. So we'll ask them to support that bill. We'll ask them to not support bills that we don't support that would, we feel, increase gun violence. So this year there's not going to be overarching scheduled legislator meetings because we expect such high numbers, but I'm happy to flex with what the group that goes from Tri-Cities wants. So if people would like to have specific legislator meetings, I'm happy to try to schedule those. I've done that before, call the offices and try to get a meeting booked for that time frame of 1:30 to 4:30, or we can drop into different offices that we want to leave information like what I talked about, bills we support, bills we ask them not to support as their constituents. And we can just drop in and talk with them if they're available, or leave them the information. I'm also super interested if I happen to pass by or know any meetings with the three that responded last year after the Covenant School shooting. So the two Justins and Gloria. So I would love to get to, just say, hey, thanks for what you do, but we never know what we'll run into.
Terrific. Thanks, Brandy. Anyone else have any questions? We have maybe like about a minute left. Go ahead, Bob.
There we go. Thanks. Quickly, if any of you haven't experienced a day like this before, whether it's in DC or in a state capital, I highly, highly encourage it. It is wonderful to be around people that are passionate about whatever the subject is, to be around people like Brandy who have been there before and can coach you or hold your hand along the way. A lot of citizens are intrepid about participating in things like this, of going to talk to legislators and getting the training. It is a wonderful, wonderful experience and very empowering as a citizen, number one. Number two, since you mentioned the red flag law or the extreme risk, just want to clarify that I think everybody understands that our original proposal of our statement for support for HVUUC included encouraging our members to advocate for red flag laws, or national red flag law, actually. And that was taken out of what was finally voted on the other week because of concern by a number of people in the congregational meeting last summer. Which means that if you personally believe in a red flag law, doesn't mean you can't be there advocating for that. But it's not in the statement, so you're not representing the church when you're advocating for that. The other things that are there that are specifics about high volume magazines and sale of automatic weapons and things like that, those are all in the statement. So just a reminder of the limits as individuals versus representatives of the church. Thank you.
Thanks. So Brandy, if you can email me some of those information that you talked about, then I will include that in our notes from today. So
Thank you. Yep, I
really
sure
appreciate
will.
you coming.
Thank you. Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all later.
Bye, Brandy.
Bye.
Thanks, Brandy. Thanks for being
Yeah.
the treasurer, state treasurer for Moms Demand Action for many years.
So going back to if you guys can see, so Tish from the board is not here today. She couldn't be here, but I did well, I'll get to that. But the finance report, I'm still I guess the treasurer. So just wanted to put on here, right? So we have $850 for our budget approval. We've spent 643. We have 207 left, and I just put some of the upcoming expenses, and I think from what I could gather, we have other events coming up later that we can use that money towards, but we don't need to make that decision today. But those are things that are coming up. Then I also wanted, I don't quite understand this whole old business, new business designation, but a lot of meetings do this. So I'm trying to put it into that format. So if you see the old business, I put in for childcare. We had talked about at our last meeting that it would be nice to have childcare available when we're doing in-person meetings. And so I spoke with Tish, who talked to the board, or the board of trustees. And I think from what I understood from the email, that they are going to cover childcare for the rest of this budget year that goes through the end of May. So if people need childcare, my suggestion is that they request childcare a week before, so that we can get someone from the church there to provide that childcare. What do you all think about that? Is that, or should we do it more?
Would this be for our monthly meetings or for special events like a matinee show or a speaker?
This is just monthly meetings. Sorry. Yeah, I don't have that clarified in there. They agreed to do monthly meetings for childcare for an hour after church.
I was trying to raise my hand and I didn't do so successfully, sorry. Are there people on our committee who have children?
So last year, Sophia could not attend meetings because of that. And if you remember, she brought Ruth, yeah, I think that's the child's name, to a meeting and then had to leave. So that would be a person, and I haven't spoke with her to see if she's hoping to be involved this year or not. But it was something that I know that prevented people from attending in the past, and so we had talked about it at our last meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know that Katie was also interested in Katie Quillen was also interested, but she has young kids too. So
Right.
I'm not sure. There's 18 people I think that are on the email list. How active people are going to be able to be, I'm not sure, but it was something that we had talked about in December.
Emily, I'd just like to say that maybe if you say you have to request it a week before, it's going to be a cost to us, then let's try it out. But if, if they're requesting it and they're not showing up, and then we've changed a lot of people's schedule, that doesn't seem very fair. But maybe to say, hey, if you want to be on the committee, we want to accommodate you.
Yeah.
But this is how we have to work it and see how it works, maybe. I mean, that's just my suggestion.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Feel good about that? Move on? Yeah. All right.
So wait. So
Yeah.
it says next step. Were you saying that this has already been approved, or they need to talk about it still? Under next step, it says wait to hear.
2024-25.
That's
budget.
okay.
That's
So it's
next year.
it's approved
So-
until the end of this year.
Yeah, approved until the end of May, which
Got
is budget year. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Do we have any idea how much that will cost us?
So it's the church budget. It's not us
Oh, okay.
for
I
this
got
year. And what it looks like for the next budget year, they haven't yet decided if it's our responsibility or if it's the church we're waiting.
The only side comment I would have is in consideration of this, that when down the road, doesn't have to be now, look at certain events that are not monthly meetings, but are created by our committee, that we can encourage congregational attendance if we could, whoever's in charge of planning that project would take into consideration, can you increase the attendance by having childcare available, and then pursue that? Because whether it was Dr. Vance Shaw speaking or the Moms Demand Action person speaking, of which there were only 3 people in the audience, or the matinee tomato matinee, we might have increased attendance by that. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll ask Tish about that option. Okay, great. Next week is Social Justice Sunday. So let's talk about what is going on with that. Bob, you can take away since this is your thing.
Sure, I'll keep it brief. Mark Mohandro is the organizer of the Statewide Network. He's going to be our speaker. I was on the phone with Rosemary this morning, finalizing a lot of things. Emily is going to participate in different elements of the service. Mark is the main speaker. The president of the local League of Women Voters will have 5 minutes to do her promo invitation and request for Fifth Sunday, postponed from December, Fifth Sunday collection, which will be next weekend as well. It's all coming together really well. Uh,
Yeah, thanks so much.
yeah, and it's going to be a tight service because we've got 5 minutes for the League of Women Voters, and Mark is a little long-winded. And Noelle has created, as she did last year, a video of the pictures of activities from the last year. So the whole congregation gets to see the things that we and they have participated in. And if you, I don't know that we have time here, Emily or Noelle, but if you all want to, if after this meeting is over, if you want to wait for an extra 3 minutes and get a world premiere viewing of it, she could do that with a share screen. So and like I said, we do need to confirm somebody as a coffee hour volunteer to make sure we keep people there. And I will check in with Phyllis and see if someone signed up, because there was nobody signed up as of last week, but there may be already. And if there's not, I may be asking one of you to that's trained in that to help out, or I'll just explain the situation to Phyllis and maybe she'll get somebody else, which would be even better. We need to have coffee hour because we're going to have the league having a table there, and a number of their members, not just Gwen, is coming. And Mark will be hanging around, and there may be one other person of significance that may be there in time for coffee hour. That's all I've got. Any questions?
What do you need from us, Bob?
I don't think we need anything except your participation in the Sunday and the opportunity to visit and encourage those that are visiting, both Mark and anybody from the league.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I just want to say the league, when it's a fifth Sunday, it's for their education fund.
Yeah.
And they've been having wonderful programs, did a whole series on polarization, political polarization, and a lot of other really great topics. They host forums. So it's all for their education fund. So that's the 501c3, it's not for the national or for the big league. It's specifically for education.
Okay.
We need an education populace, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I just
Thank
want
you.
to.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you. You can see on the screen share that I just kept the subgroups on here. And so if there's anything that needs to be shared, we can. But as you remember from our last meeting, we have a new structure where if you want to do something, then it is your bailiwick and you can just jump into it. And then get help and volunteers from the committee, but we won't have these specific subgroups really anymore. Anti-racism, as you see, is on the screen. So I get also, just so you know about this, presenter objectives, requested actions, next step. That's something that is from the Board of Trustees, what they do. And I was like, well, maybe we'll try this and see how it works. I'm trying to figure out how my brain can get all this information from the committee and organize it. So that was just my idea. But I wanted to give just the committee an update about anti-racism things that have been happening. So the book club with the 8th principle finished, and they have working goals right now of circle suppers, I guess, was something that happened. I think that's the name of them, happened in the past, and they're going to try to have these in the fall, like a few of them, where they will be multi-generational, hopefully multicultural. And then the Wednesday suppers, there's going to be an emphasis with it also being multi-generational, meet people you don't know, multicultural. And then I think Tom volunteered to do a covenant group on anti-racism, some kind of topic along that route. So those are the next steps that that group decided that they were going to do. I wanted to just, share, right, the moving on to the next thing, that the Unity Walk did not happen last week because it was snowing, as you all know. So that was canceled in Johnson City for Martin Luther King Day, and a lot of the events were canceled. And so we didn't participate as a church in that. But I did meet with Adam Dixon, who is the director of the Langston Center, and he gave me some information about something that we could do in the future that I thought was pretty interesting, and I can jump into this now. I think would make sense. So I'm just going to scroll down to the information. Let me find it. Boo-doo, boo-doo. I can't do this very well. Here we go. Here we go. Nope. Where are you? I don't know where I put it. Doing this PDF is a little bit odd for me, so sorry that I'm not in. It's right there. I can't find it. Up. So Adam Dixon is part of you can start me on at least maybe less than 5 minutes, Noel. I don't need to go on about this a lot. It's on page 3 that I can't find for some reason. So Adam Dixon is the director of the Langston Center, which is the only multicultural center in this area. And he and a group of people, volunteers, have started a Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Alliance, DEI. And he asked if we would be interested as a church in participating in their SAFE program, which it stands for, I want to have it because I can't remember what it's called. Here, and let me find it. SAFE stands for.
I saw it.
You did? Where is it? Where is it?
Hold up.
Found it.
There it is.
Right. Supporting acceptance for everyone. Right. And so this is not just race, it's also ethnicity, it's orientation, gender, it's all across the board. And if we did the SAFE program, we would sign a pledge, and then the church would be known as a nonprofit in our area that is a safe place. And they're trying to get businesses in many different areas. They're trying to get Eastman, like the big businesses in our area, as well as small business, to be safe programs so that visitors to our area know that it's a safe place, as well as people in that live here know that it's a safe place. And so that's something that I hope to bring more information about in the future. And I am planning to go to their DEI summit on Friday, May 17th, to learn more about their work. They've been around, I think, since 2015 doing work. It's just, as a volunteer-led thing, it takes some time. So any questions about that information?
Yeah, is the program active now? I mean, can we sign up now? Is there a cost to it? Is there a newsletter or anything else that goes with it? Or we just get a sticker on the door?
It comes with, so you sign a pledge and you get a decal. You can look it up online on their website if you want to know more information about it. But it's something that I'm hoping to look more into, and then I'll bring more information at the next meeting. And if you want to look into it too.
Well, I'm just wondering if this has
I'll
to be
talk about
a
it.
board decision.
Yeah, and Tiffany knows about it already, but I know doesn't make decisions for the whole church. But yeah, it would definitely be something that we look into and then probably take to the board.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised. I was
Fantastic.
like, oh. Yeah. Let's see. So any health disability information to share? Okay. No, going once, twice. Homelessness and hunger. We had last time that, Mary, you wanted to recognize volunteers. I don't know if anything. you wanna give-
Nothing's been done about that. Yeah, I'm really busy right now. I'm looking at hopefully doing something after next week. We're leaving town today.
Are
So,
you? Thanks
yeah,
for being here.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm looking at February for doing that. A little late, but better late than never. And I also want to thank people. I don't know how to do this across the board. Like, there's so many people that do so many things, not only in social action, but volunteering for all kinds of things. And I guess I should just have the board to thank social action people.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna send out an email asking for just all of our group, asking for names of people who need to be up there for social justice. And that's all I'm thinking right now about it. Any suggestions?
I think that sounds nice.
Yeah, I don't have any specific suggestions, Mary, but I think it's so important because there's so many people that are doing things that are not necessarily on this committee. I mean, Brandy being the state treasurer for Mom's Demand, the work that's done by Rise and Cindy and a number of other folks. And there's a lot that goes on in our church that's outside of this particular committee. And it's to sometime in the future to have, on a Sunday service, just ask for a few minutes to ask everybody that, I don't know whether to stand up or whatever, but so I don't have any specific ideas, but I think it's really important to do this recognition, Mary. Thank you.
So in years past, I think it has been in May where like the closing of the school year kind of thing in the church year as well, we would have people stand up who have volunteered for different things in the church. And it's impressive because you basically have most of the congregation standing up by the end. And that might be, I guess that's something we can talk to Sunday services about for that time of year, because I like to see that, to recognize people that, some people are clueless. Like the people that deliver to Hunger First in Kingsport. Probably nobody knows who those people are, and they should be thanked publicly.
Cool. Thank you. So going on to the next point, any advocacy being done with LGBTQ? Anyone wants to report? Okay, going once, going twice. All right, democracy. I know that we have probably some postcard activities happening at some point, so we'll just keep our ears tuned. Today was, I think, the last day that you could purchase stamps at the previous rate, but Bob and I did a little math, and if we tried to purchase them before today's meeting, we might have saved a few dollars. So we decided, we don't have to do that right now. So just keep your eyes peeled. We'll probably be doing a lot of that coming this year. Pieceworks.
Okay, got stuff on Pieceworks.
Yeah.
Something came up rather suddenly. This will stop other screen sharing. Is it okay if I stop your screen sharing for a
Yes,
minute?
you may. Go for it.
All right. And can you see my screen now? It says Monday or Tuesday?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
that's no lie.
Huh? Yeah,
nice.
so this is an event that came up rather suddenly yesterday. Tomorrow we'll be doing a carpool to a Stop the Nuclear Madness over in Asheville. These people, we want to support them because the Asheville folks came over and supported us when we did the public hearing on denuclearization and the poisoning of the Nolechucky River. So Bob and I are definitely going to go, and if anybody else wants to, this is an event announcement on HVUUC website. So all the details are available there.
Facebook page.
Facebook page, yeah, Facebook page. And I hopefully, Bob, I thought you, or Emily, you'll send this event announcement out to social justice. And then the next day, Tuesday, is when they have the doomsday clock announcement. And we'll see whether it's going to move closer to annihilation or farther away. And one of the guests will be Bill Nye, the Science Guy. So we're thinking of having our own Zoom watch party. And the link for that is in the text here.
Not thinking about it, we are doing it, right?
We are doing it. We're starting at 5 minutes of at 9:50 a.m. And then we're going to watch it together and then have short conversation afterwards. So these are 2 events all about not blowing ourselves up. So if anybody wants to join us for the trip to Asheville tomorrow, you're more than welcome. So that's one thing with Peaceworks. So hopefully we'll share that around, folks. And
the email went out yesterday afternoon. Sorry for the interruption, Noel. Email to all of you. Social Justice went out at 3 o'clock, 3:15 yesterday afternoon with even more details than Noel just mentioned.
Okay. Then Emily, can you put that back up, the PDF? Because I think there are some things.
Let me find out.
My hair is crazy.
Yeah, mine's on top of my head, so.
Mine's in a braid.
All right, here.
Okay. So we were talking about having a peace jam of the music, poetry, and whatever to promote peace. This is, because Alicia brought up, doing like a fundraiser for Gaza. And of course, we can't take sides in the Israeli Gaza thing. So we thought about maybe having a peace jam. And so Tiffany, Bradley, myself, and Alicia, we're all going to get together and talk about that. I had to bow out of that meeting because I had the flu and I wouldn't talk to anybody. And they went ahead and met. I never got a report of what happened, but I know that since that time, Alicia has had hip surgery.
Right.
So I don't know anything about what's going on with the Peace Jam, but I do have some wonderful free handouts for people that I'd like to give away at that event. Some of them are handmade, what do you call it? Origami peace dolls that descendants of the descendants of the people that were killed by the atomic bombs made, and make that they give away to people. And also another little booklet on peace. And then the other thing, facilitation of HVUC and Peace Pals International Art Contest. I'll send it forward to our RE for a 3rd year, but it doesn't come out until about June or something. So there's plenty of time awaiting on that. So anyway, that's it. I didn't time myself. Oops.
It's
So,
okay. We're doing great. This new format, I think we're doing great.
okay. So that's all I have, unless anybody has any questions about anything that I said.
That's awesome. Lots
Okay.
of work to be done. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Environment, Lori, do you have anything about the trees?
Yes, there's what do you call it? A webinar or a Zoom on Friday to learn more about the process of picking up and distributing and all that from the TEC. So I'll be a part of that, and then hopefully get an article for the newsletter too, just reminding people that we'll need help in March and what the dates are, and ask who can help out.
Awesome.
Should we be doing anything else right now or this week with that? It's not until March 15th.
Yeah, I think it can wait,
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So just staying in touch with that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay. All right. So now for the meditation renaming. You ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
Okay, go for it.
All right. This has been a long process since last year when the board agreed to our proposal to add the name Viola Luizo, one of the two civil rights martyrs, to the meditation hall. So Bob and some others asked that we look more into some of these rooms that were named when the building was built. And I believe it was in the mid part of 2004 or 5 or somewhere around there when the current building was, may have been later. I don't know the exact date, but there's 6 rooms in the res building. They're all named. And I have some information on all how the names were attached to the room, but I would like to postpone it to the February meeting because I have several handouts and I'd like to add permission if it could be postponed until next month's meeting. In person.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds great. We can.
Okay,
talk
and
about
one
it
more
then.
thing, Bob. Betty and I have talked, and we will volunteer for coffee is it next week? Next Sunday?
That'd be fantastic.
Okay, but first I want you to find out if someone's there first. And then
Okay.
we always work through Cynthia for coffee hour. Is Phyllis
Yeah.
going?
Yeah, I said Phyllis, I'd call Phyllis, but you're right, it's Cynthia. Would you mind calling her and just confirming? And then,
I'll
know,
send her an email and
if-
see
yeah.
if she's there. And I'll
If
let
they-
you know if someone's doing it.
okay, super.
Do it. We'll take care of it tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's all I've got.
Thanks, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just put the statement for gun safety, support for gun safety in our agenda. And if you want to read it, you can read it when we send out the minutes from today's. It should probably be also on the website, I guess is where it's gonna go once all the official things have been done with the board and all that, right, Bob?
Yeah, the boards, Tish leads that as our representative to the board. They will take responsibility for putting it into the bylaws because each of these statements of support are actually in the bylaws. They'll take responsibility for putting in the bylaws, adding it to the list of statements of support that exist on the website. And then when those two things are done, all we have left to do is something, I forget.
Yeah, there's so many steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we'll just have the official version of it that we can put on the into our records, into the Google Drive that Emily now has control of. Yeah.
Control. All right. Thanks so much for Diane Conco and everyone, Bob and everyone who made that happen.
Yes, and just so everyone knows, I did send a thank you note to Diana Conco, who in the early days, 1.5 years ago, was the one that fashioned the early versions of that from suggestions from other UU churches and whatnot. So she hasn't been participating much in the committee, but I wanted her to know that, and she wasn't at the meeting when it was voted on. So I wanted her to be aware and thanked for her efforts early on. Thanks.
Yeah. So we're getting close to being done with our meeting. There's just things that I have on this document that I was aware of. There might be other things that we might need to table till the next meeting. Wanted to let everyone know that there's a Black History class at the Langston Center that's going to be on Thursdays, a set of classes on Thursdays from 1 to 2 p.m. and then a set of classes on Tuesdays from 6:30 to 8. And the flyer will be, I'll email that out with our minutes. So if that's something that you want to do, because part of that 8th principle book, one of the things that I took away from it is that we can have actions and events that we're part of, but then there's also the internal work that you do to look at your own biases and your just internal racism and things of that nature. And so these classes are part of that internal work if that's something you're interested in. So positions, volunteers, I have been, kind of the treasurer. I mean, it's not very much work, but there's the treasurer position. If anyone wants that to take it from me, you can. The secretary, minutes keeper, I guess is what you could call that position. Lori's volunteered to do it, but next month she won't be able to be at the meeting. So if you feel like taking the notes, that would be great. And communication is really, I think, done by each person. If you have an event that you want to do, timekeeper, Noelle, if you like doing that, then you can keep doing that.
Sure, I'll keep doing it.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm gonna be here at the next meeting. I don't know. We might be going to.
Okay. Yeah, just keep me posted. I wondered if anyone wanted to volunteer to pick something for the reading for our chalice lighting for next time. If not, I'll do it, but I just thought it'd be nice to have a lighting.
I don't believe I'll be here next month.
So if Lori's not going to be here, Mary and Noelle, and I guess that includes Bob.
Correct. We'll definitely be gone next. So, I mean, if it's a Zoom meeting, we could do it, but if it's in person, we will not be in state.
Okay.
What is
So
the date again?
we do the third Sunday of every month. So I have it
18th.
down.
18th.
I'll be gone.
Okay. So we might need to cancel that meeting. I mean, I'll be there, I guess. And we can see who else comes, maybe it'll be the rest of the 18 people. Okay, well, we can keep talking about that. When I send out a reminder, we can see if who's
I
going
think
to
it'd be super, even if it's a lesser number. I mean, we have a lesser number today of 18, but particularly because Mike's report on the room naming and stuff, so that we can, it's still months ahead to get it done, to get names and to get Viola's granddaughter's schedule so that we can have an official event. So it could drag on for an additional months before getting a schedule. So I think it'd be wonderful to get his report if you have an in-person meeting next month, even if it's only a half a dozen people. Just my idea, my suggestion.
Okay, great. So I think we'd have, if everyone is okay with staying a little bit longer to talk about this America Graywall, former member of HBUC, I think that would be good to talk about. It just popped up this in the emails correspondence this morning. Mary, do you want to start with it?
Well, yeah, and forgive us for doing it last minute, but I just found out yesterday that she's coming. So
yeah,
and just read email this morning about wanting to talk with people wherever she can. She's a dear friend of mine. And she actually was on a meeting with us when Roe versus Wade was struck down. She was at some rally and talked to us from there. Bob and Noelle, I know you guys were there at that meeting. It was a Zoom meeting. But anyway, she lives in Eagles Pass right now with her parents. She's from Eagle Pass. And she's very active with the border situation going on down there. She's coming up, dropping in for a visit. And I think it would be really worthwhile to have her be able to talk to people at church. Although my understanding is her plane gets in 10:30 next Sunday morning. But perhaps she could have a quick meeting after church or a table. I don't know how it might, we might be able to mesh it with or after the service next week. And I know, if we knew about this months ago, she could have been our speaker or a co-speaker, but I think it's really worthwhile having, getting the interest from this area about what's happening on the border. And she's like boots on the ground.
Yeah, Bob?
So thank you, Mary, for bringing it here. In talking with Rosemary this morning about the service next week and working on all those details, she mentioned this to me. Noelle and I are, of course, familiar with the situation at Eagle Pass, which is where folks are coming across the border. They go across the street, they go into a city park, and that's when the governor of Texas exerts his militia to come in and tell the U.S. Border Patrol people and immigration people they can't do it because Texas is in charge of Texas, not the United States. And so one suggestion we had was that if we know that Brian has picked her up at the airport, the flight's on time, that she could come over for coffee hour and we would have a sentence or two ready in the announcement section at the end of the service on standby just to mention a couple sentences. Those of you that have been at HVUUC for years and know her, that she is on her way over to be with us at coffee hour. So that's one thing if her plane's on time. And then Noelle, we got an email from Rosemary right away after I talked with her this morning. And Noelle, you've done some things about spreading the word in looking for places where she might be able to speak or getting other groups interested in being aware that she's here. Noelle, what have you done in the last 2 hours?
Well, I sent out this email, which you might be able to see. So we're going to try to get the local URI, which is now defunct, but somebody is still keeping that email list. They're going to try to send it out to folks. I also copied Tahil Sharma, who was with us at the Peace Pentagon. He's the national coordinator for URI, so he may be able to get her some speaking engagements.
Oh, wow.
I proposed Unity Earth, which has helped people, groups in Ukraine, Pakistan, Gaza, Costa Rica, many other locations. Told her how to join that. Also told her to look at Purpose Earth, what the work they do. We're going to invite her on a call. And Rosemary really liked this one. I said, why don't we arrange a tea at the Philosopher's House for folks to gather and meet America? And Rosemary seemed to like that. She said she was going to contact Ren. So if you all want to copy that email, I just sent it out to, I don't know if anybody wants a copy of that email, but those were some ideas that I had. Yeah, Mary?
I would like a copy of that email, please.
Okay. You know what? I think I did copy you. Let me check this.
All right.
Are you Mary Bob?
Yes, I am Mary Bob.
Yep, you're Mary Bob Williamson. You got a copy, babe.
Okay,
Awesome.
thank you. And
Yeah.
thanks for your actions so quickly. She's does things on the spur of the moment, and she's a bundle of energy, and it would be good to do what we can to help get word out.
Yeah, I'd like to see if we could get her for Monday night. So when we come back from Asheville, we can just pop by Johnson City and see her and go home. So we have to make another trip.
No, wrong Monday night. Monday night
Huh?
tomorrow is when we're going to Asheville tomorrow. This will be the
It's the following one. Oh,
the
okay.
29th.
All
Correct.
right, erase.
Yeah.
So I've sent it out to some contacts and I think some good stuff, even Father Joe, Bob.
Good.
And also there's 40 days of MLK that's going on, and I sent it to the organizers of that, so they may be able to get her interviewed on that. So
Okay, folks, I won't be back in town until sometime, probably Monday evening-ish. So I might not, I don't think I can coordinate anything, but I might be able to get somewhere in time.
Monday the 29th.
Right.
okay, well, maybe they make it Tuesday.
Well, you know what? It's okay if you do it without me. I'm in contact with her almost daily, so I know what's going on.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. Well, Rosemary's picked up the baton and she's going to contact Ren. So whatever they come up with will be fine with us, whether we're there or not. Or if it's if it's available and we're able to be there, we'll be there. So,
Great.
you know, whatever they think, but I love the Philosopher's House, and I'm sure it's something they would like to jump on. So we'll see, you know, but that doesn't mean that she can't get other engagements. Those are just ideas.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, that could be fun. So
Great.
back to you, Emily.
Yeah, well, thanks, everybody. That's all of the new business type things that I had known about. Is there anything else that we want?
Would you like to see the premiere, what we're gonna be showing on the 28th?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be good. Anything else before that?
Anything else before that?
Emily did a super job running the meeting. Thank you. I love you.
Lori
Good job.
is amazing.
And Lori,
Yeah.
thank you as
Yeah,
always.
thank you, Lori, for the
Yeah.
wrangling all of this chaos into notes.
And thank you.
Let me bring this here. Okay, so now the drumming you will hear is from our service a couple days ago.
No sound, Noel.
Oops, sorry about that. The drumming you don't hear is because I didn't turn on the sound. So hold on a sec. I'm a little rusty, Bob. I didn't have calls this month.
That's right.
Sound. All right, now let's try this. Let me know.
We can't see the whole screen. Drumming's
How about
fine.
now? Can you see the whole thing?
That's awesome. Thank you
Yay,
so much.
Noelle.
Well,
It's very nice.
It was fun.
That's wonderful. I love the drumming.
That was all the church drumming.
Right. Right.
that's so
Wait.
good.
I think I forgot something. Weren't we in the Pride Day Festival? Pride?
Yes.
Oh,
Parade?
try pride.
Yes.
There's, yeah.
I guess I
Tri
didn't have
Pride.
any pictures.
I think we got tons of pictures from Tripod. We
Wow.
weren't here, but we have.
It wasn't in the files.
Oh,
I was just thinking, going like, where's Pride?
oh,
Yeah,
crap.
try pride and the
Yeah,
any of the tree stuff or water.
I
stuff.
had the tree stuff
But
mentioned,
it's-
river
yeah.
cleanup. And
There's so much. Done
it's-
so
I know,
much.
that's why I was saying like, we
Yeah,
did
it's a
so
lot.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one slide was to kind of like catch up on all the other things that we
Yeah,
did,
it
and we'd
was
be
really
there.
nice.
That's 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah.
So, you know,
No,
Oh, it's so
Noelle,
good.
can you still add a picture or two?
I could take something out and replace a picture. Yeah, what do you got?
Oh,
Well,
okay.
for Tripod.
Well, I was just thinking it would be nice to have a picture of our people that do Kitchen of Hope. Sorry, Kitchen of Hope people.
I could add them. I had Kitchen of Hope mentioned, but I didn't have a picture. But if you have a picture, send it to me.
Oh, you did? I missed that. There was Kitchen of Hope.
Yeah, there was one page that had like different things that
All the-
popped up. Like it was, I gave that one 10 seconds. All the other ones were like 6.5. In Kitchen of Hope, it had the wisps. And that was the first thing. But if you have a picture, I'll try to fit it in.
Yeah, because
I
they
I
did
can acquire.
Huh?
sorry.
Say what?
I could probably acquire a picture. I will attempt to do that if you can get it in.
I'll get it to me. I'll see what I can do.
We'll be on the road to Asheville tomorrow, and the deadline is to get it done on Tuesday.
But they'll be okay with it.
They'll be.
Well, and it might not happen because Kim Ray is in the Bahamas and we're going to Florida tomorrow. So
Mm.
Yeah,
you might
if it
not get
was
that picture. And
for
Yeah,
maybe-
Tri Pride,
actually, you
Pride,
know
I
what?
know that they did the parade, right? And they had the float,
Let's see. See this picture?
that
Oops.
big float, picture of everybody on the float.
See
Oh,
that
yeah.
picture right there is the only way that I was trying to get it. Can you see that?
Those are great.
This was the only thing I could do. Kids, look, tree distribution, river cleanups, and composting program. I just couldn't get everything in.
It's a lot.
You know what?
This
Forget I
kitchen-
said anything. I realize that. Next year I'll have it.
Okay, well, I definitely, if anybody has a good Tri-Pride picture, I'll definitely work that one. I'll take out one of the Peace Pentagon ones, or I'll add it to the drag show one.
And
I mean, I'm just shocked at how much we did, and this isn't everybody, you know?
Emily, and for your, transition in, and this is another thing you talked about, a secretary and treasurer and communication person, is that when Noelle said, give me all the pictures, I just went to that shared file that you and I went over the other day and grabbed the whole photo section and gave it to her. And then she worked on it for an hour or two and got it all done. And I said, what about this? What about that? We realized the only reason there's
No.
pictures in that photo section is things that I put in there, and I had neglected to put in some, particularly when we were out of town and we were in Wisconsin for the month of September and missed Tri-Pride. And a number of the pictures that I have that did go into the repository for the year are ones that were taken by others, by you and John or whatever at the Green Festival. I was out of town. I actually went to their, when somebody was Facebook posting live, I went and grabbed all those pictures and put them into a folder to put them into Google Drive. So we really do need to have somebody that will be
For
responsible,
communication.
and or two people that are responsible for particularly photo archiving for things.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I woke up the next morning and I said, holy shit, we didn't do the river cleanup, we didn't do the tree distribution, we didn't.
Yeah.
How did you like the matinee one, Laurie?
I like the dancing
Yeah.
tomatoes. That was great. Yeah. And we recycle for the year too.
Yeah,
Composting, I guess I can still add, and
and recycling.
and
That's what-
recycling, I can
Yeah,
add that one, you
because we
see,
carry
now.
out the recycling. So really need to think about.
But we do
For
so
lack of a
much.
better word, a historian that is a bit responsible. That doesn't mean they can't delegate if they're out of town or whatever.
Right.
Of making sure we capture.
Yeah, because you're gonna
Yeah.
have to do an annual report.
She knows that. We went over all that. too.
Yeah.
So,
And I
you know,
wonder if, like, even just at our each monthly meeting, we have a line item that says, email pictures to me, you know, and then I put them in the, you know, just do it that way. I don't know. But these are questions that not everybody else needs to, it'll be questions that I'm thinking about.
Okay,
So,
cool.
but yeah, thank you all for being here. If there are things that you want to talk about at the next meeting, let me know. And I'm going to extinguish our chalice. Ta-da! All right.
Yay, thank
Stay
you, thank
healthy
you.
Good job.
in your
Oh, it is.
travels
Thank
and
you.
Good job. Bye,
see you
guys.
next time.
Have
Bye.
fun talking about that stuff by yourself.
Yeah, seriously. Me and Mike. It'll be just me and Mike.
Yeah, you.
All right, bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
Lori.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.